What's the secret to surviving the Black Death? Is it strong immunity, good hygiene, divine intervention? Nope, and definitely not. As I found out the hard way, it's actually terrible hygiene, paralysing fear and dumb luck. I'm Alex, an accidental time traveller stuck in 1348, and I'm about to show you how I survived history's deadliest pandemic with nothing but a broken watch, a notebook and a complete lack of medieval survival skills. But before I show you how I accidentally survived the Black Death, let me tell you how I got here. So I found this busted watch in some old pawn shop. It looked cool. Kinda like a prop from a bad sci-fi movie. The guy at the counter shrugged when I asked about it, said it came in with a box of junk from an estate sale. Next to it, this old notebook. The pages were full of scribbles, dates, places, warnings. Half of it made no sense. The other half, well, let's just say whoever wrote it was either a lunatic or someone who'd been through some serious time-travelling nonsense. Naturally, I pressed the side button. I open my eyes to a world that reeks of death and unwashed bodies. I've just become the least hygienic person in my time. But somehow, the cleanest in 1348. The stench hits me like a wall, making me gag. I'm surrounded by people who think bathing is a sign of vanity and sin. My modern habits are about to make me a prime suspect for witchcraft. A local notices my strange attire and starts whispering to others. I need to blend in. Fast! My eyes dart around, searching for a solution. That's when I spot it. A mud puddle. I have a terrible idea, but it might just save my life. It's time to get medieval on personal hygiene. A group of unwashed locals eyes me suspiciously. I hold my breath, hoping my makeover is convincing. The leader of the group leans in close. I can see the grime on his face, the yellowed teeth, and smell his breath. He sniffs me, his face a mix of confusion and approval. I wait while every muscle tense, ready to bolt if he decides I'm too clean for comfort. Finally, he grunts.
This one's alright. Smells like he's been rolling with the pigs.
The group nods in agreement, and I realise I've just passed my first medieval social test. As they shuffle away, I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. I'm safe, for now. But as I stand there covered in mud, I realise my biggest challenge isn't avoiding the plague. It's pretending I've never heard of soap. The irony isn't lost on me. In my time, cleanliness is next to godliness. Here, it's practically a sin. I remember reading about how people in this era believed bathing could open pores to disease. Now, I'm living it. As I watch people go about their daily lives, I can't help but feel a twisted sense of superiority. I know things they don't, but that knowledge is useless here. In fact, it's dangerous. Just when I think I've got a handle on medieval survival, fate decides to test me again. I spot a figure in the distance that makes my stomach drop. Is that a giant bird? Nope, it's something far more terrifying. A plague doctor, and he's coming straight toward me. I'm trying to blend in, covered in mud and reeking like everyone else. But this guy's got other plans. He stops in front of me, his beaked mask tilting curiously. Great! He thinks I look sickly. It's just the mud, but try explaining that to a 14th century quack who probably thinks bathing is a cardinal sin. The doctor insists on treating me. And before I can say, I'm fine, really? He's rummaging through his bag of horrors. Out comes a jar of leeches, and he looks way too excited about these blood-sucking worms. But wait, there's more! The doctor moves on to his next treatment. He pulls out a chicken, and for a brief, hopeful moment, I think he's about to make me some soup. No such luck. He starts tying the live chicken to my plague-free armpit. Apparently, this is supposed to draw out the pestilence. I'm starting to think that maybe the plague isn't the worst thing that could happen to me here. I'm left standing there, feeling like I just lost a fight with a farmer's market. But here's the kicker. In 1348, looking like a reject from a twisted petting zoo might just keep me alive. I can't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all. Suddenly, I noticed the plague doctor's bag. It's stuffed with herbs and flowers, and I remember reading something about this. These guys actually believed that aromatic substances like rose petals could ward off the bad air causing the plague. But here's the real kicker. I spot some vials in the doctor's bag that look suspiciously like they contain arsenic and mercury. Apparently, in their desperation to treat the plague, some physicians resorted to using these toxic substances. I'm suddenly very grateful for my chicken and leech combo. At least those won't actively poison me. As I watch the plague doctor walking away, I can't help but wonder if Death's got a twisted sense of humour. I've somehow managed to survive a week in this cesspool of pestilence, and I'm starting to feel like the universe's favourite chew toy. The town crier's voice booms through the village, announcing the latest death toll. It's higher than I'd care to count, and I swear I can hear the Grim Reaper cackling in the distance. Bodies are piled onto carts like firewood, and the gravediggers look about as cheerful as a cat in a bathtub. A priest shuffles by, swinging an incense burner and muttering prayers that sound more like a grocery list than divine intervention. I wonder if God's got them all on mute, or if he's just stepped out for a cosmic coffee break. The smell of incense mingles with the stench of decay, creating a perfume that could knock out a vulture. I overhear two survivors debating the cause of the plague. Their theories range from bad air to angry gnomes, and I'm tempted to introduce them to the revolutionary concept of hand washing. But I bite my tongue, remembering that my modern knowledge is more likely to get me burned at the stake than praised. In a twisted turn of events, I notice some villagers turning to extreme religious practices. I watch in disbelief as a group of people whip themselves, believing that self-punishment will appease God and end the plague. It's a grim reminder that desperation can lead people down some dark and painful paths. As I crawl into my makeshift bed, a pile of hay that's probably home to several plague-carrying fleas, I reflect on the day. I've witnessed humanity at its worst and its most desperate. People drinking and merrymaking in the face of death, others lashing out at innocent neighbours, and some literally beating themselves up for salvation. Suddenly, my time travel watch springs to life. A familiar beat fills the air, and for a moment hope swells in my chest. This could be it, my ticket back to the 21st century. But as the world starts to blur around me, a sinking feeling settles in my gut. I've been here before, and it rarely ends well. And suddenly I'm face to face with a very angry Tyrannosaurus Rex. Its breath hits me like a wave of rotting meat, and I can't help but think, well, at least nobody here will complain about my hygiene.